Hi everyone, today we're going to learn about programming with JavaScript in a big picture. This tutorial is a part of Learn Everything About JavaScript in One Course. Link to the full course is in the description below. So what is computing? Computing can be thought of as a three-phase process. The first phase, you have some raw information. That's the input. It can be in terms of number, characters. Usually it's not very useful, but it represents something in life. For example, your bank account, your medical records, and so on. Then comes phase number 2, which is the process. You're gonna manipulate the numbers and the characters. And then phase number 3, you're gonna output some useful information. Useful information is the key here. And this is how computing looks like. You have some input information. You're gonna process that information in some way, and you're gonna output something useful. For example, we have input of 2. We're gonna do the processing by squaring it up, and we're gonna have an output at 4. So the output of 4 is some useful information that we want. Computing can be done with a combination of computer and human. Computer is stupid, but it's very fast, and it can do exactly what it's told. On the other hand, humans are very intelligent but slow, and humans can come up with a very complex, efficient solution. But humans are slow and sometimes inconsistent. So computing equal to a combination of human and computer. Human will provide the efficient solution. Computer will repeat whatever human provide fast. Now this is one of the example I showed earlier. We're gonna do a square up any given number. That's the process. The input in the example is 2, and the output is whatever the process taking the input and output it to. And if we run this program, it's gonna output the number that we want, which is 4. As you can see here, this is the program, the process that I wrote for that example, and now I'm gonna run it in real life. And our output is 4, which is what we want. It's a simple idea, yes, but it's very powerful. Due to the complexity of the program, the process that you're gonna learn and write, you can easily get lost during the learning. So try to use this concept to guide yourself. And remember, output some useful information is the key. Now let me give you a more useful example. Imagine that you're in a board, 5x5 board. We have 25 cells here. We have 5 rows. We have 5 columns. The goal here is you want to travel from the start of the board, cell 00, to the other end of the board, cell 44. Now you can travel on cells which are empty, but you cannot travel on cells which are not. So cell contains number 1 is a cell that you cannot travel to. You have to go around it. Now our goal is to travel from start to end efficiently, meaning that we're trying to use the sorted path to get from start to end. On our first board setup on the left, you can see that there's only one way to travel from start to end, which is the path look like number 2 here. In the second setup on the right, you can see that the number 1 right here on top of cell 44 is removed. Therefore, there are 2 ways to get to cell 44 from 00 by traveling from here and directly down, or you can go the other way, which is longer and not optimal. This is a typical computing problem. Our input is the map. The map is the whole board with the information on it, which is where we can go and where we cannot, and where it is start and where it end. And our design output is the path, the most optimal path. And the process is we're gonna use the input, which is the map, combine it with our intelligence to produce a algorithm that returns us the sorted path with any given map scenario. Then we write that efficient algorithm in JavaScript so the computer can understand and repeat whenever it's asked to. Let me show you how it is in action. This map is our input. This sorted path function is our process. And down here, I call the process and pass in the input. This is how it looks like when it runs. The program gonna print out on the console some useful information along the way when it's run. This is our input, which is the map. You can see here we have the exact configuration as our first example. This is the output path, the most optimal path to get from 0, 0 to 4, 4. So the most optimal path will be, it will start at 0, 0, and it will go to 0, 1, which is here, and then 0, 2, and then 0, 4, and so on until it reaches cell 4, 4, which is our destination. And this is our output map with the sorted path. The path is the cells contain number 2. So it's gonna go like this. For our second map scenario, I'm gonna remove this obstacle here and replace it with 0. And I'm gonna run the algorithm again. We can see that the input map has changed and the path has changed accordingly. It's gonna go all the way to the right and go down. And when it reaches cell 2, 4, it will try 2 ways, one to go left and one to go down. When it goes down, it realizes that it reaches the destination. So it's not gonna continue to try the other way. And in fact, that is the most efficient path. I just showed you the power of computing. Human will provide the efficient algorithm and machine will use that algorithm to produce a useful information accordingly to the input. The solution is the very same solution that we can see in popular products like Google Maps and Apple Maps. You can see here Google Maps is trying to show different options for traveling, just like we can in example number 2 on the right. Now we have learned what is computing. Now we're going to learn about the role of a programming language in computing. It is to give everyone a tool to tell a computer to do what we want it to do. So it's very important to understand that you are the one who do the information processing, not the computer like I showed you before. A programming language also standardizes its tool with its lexicon and syntax, which is vocabulary and grammar, so everyone, including the computer, can understand. Without this tool and standardization, nobody can understand others' code. Coder 1 can define the function in his way, Coder 2 can define the function in her way, and no computer or human can understand. With JavaScript standard, this is the way to define a function, and everybody, including the computer, can now understand. What does it mean to learn a programming language? Well, very much like learning another human's language. Learning a programming language means you have to learn the lexicon, the vocabulary, and the syntax, which is the grammar, in order to do computing to express your thought that computer and human can understand. So my thought is I want to square up any number, and then I'm going to express my thought in JavaScript by writing the process that computer and human can understand. Computer now can understand, so it can do the job whenever I tell it to. For example, square up 2, give me 4, and square up 3, give me 9. We run the program, and this is what we're going to receive on the console. So learning JavaScript language, it simply means that you learn a programming language named JavaScript, as opposed to different languages like Python, Java, and Go, which is slightly different for different computing purposes. So what kind of applications can be programmed with JavaScript? There's a huge range of applications that can be developed with JavaScript. That's why it's the most popular programming language with available jobs opening. JavaScript can be used to develop browser applications, web apps, mobile applications like iOS and Android apps, and backend applications like server apps. So it's offers a full stack application development. JavaScript can also be used but not optimized for developing the following application, which is CPU instantial application and AI and machine learning application. Although with the current development of Node.js and in-browser machine learning, it can be changed very quickly in the future. Why programming job is paying so well? Well, almost everything can be represented in form of information. For example, audio, videos, graph, text, and extracting useful information from them has proven to be valuable. You can remember our previous example before that we have the map and we were trying to find a sorted path from point A to point P, just like Google Maps does. And you can imagine how much money and time it can save people if they know the best sorted path that can help them to go from point A to point B. That's the value of useful information. The second point that make programming job paying so well is scalability. If you build something useful once, everyone can use it. If everybody use it and each person pay you $1, you can make $7 billion. Your work scales at an unimaginable rate. Now it's time for some fun. Let's go impress your friend saying that the latest iPhone model is on sale for $99. Let's go ahead and open Amazon.com. Look for the model that you want. Now it's showing here that the price of this model is $1,000. We're gonna make it $99. So we're gonna right click on the price and hit inspect. So right here on the price element, you're gonna right click and click copy JS path. And then you're gonna switch to console tab and type in let el equal, right click and paste in whatever you copy and enter. Now you're gonna type if l dot inner text equal $99 and hit enter. You can see here the price is $99. We can close it. You can change everything, anything you see on this website with that trick. It's worth to mention that what just happened is only in your browser, not on the original website server, meaning that you won't be able to buy the iPhone for actually $99. Quite powerful, and it's just a simple taste that what you can do with JavaScript. You can command your browser to do whatever you want. That's it for today's tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.